It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Great to have you in studio today. We're going to talk about summer safe driving and distracted driving. DPS Captain DannyGolden in studio today. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. You brought a bit of a kit with you.
Just a little bare essentials.
The bare essentials that these could possibly get you by and keep you a little more comfortable and less panicked on the side of our Arizona desert highway.
Right.
In the summer heat.
Right.
Have you had many of those so far this year?
We're seeing some. Dealt with a couple even just yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's starting to heat up, so we're starting to get the tires that are blowing and having a lot of vehicle issues with vehicles overheating.
It's starting. It's
starting.
It warmed up fast this year.
It is. It's pretty warm out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy summer, I think. There was an accident up by the scenic overview, too, but being up on that side of the hill, the top of the 17 there outside Flagstaff, it's a little cooler to be stuck outside. But I guess some of the times, what I've always noticed a lot, it seems like, is that the accidents seem to happen, or the breakdowns that block up traffic seem to be the Sunset Point Rest area has some kind of a magical area there that just likes to cause things to happen.
Was there yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just always seems to be in that location, and it's this wide open expanse of land and beating sun down on you. So I think we want to start out with vehicle maintenance, right? Because there's our preventative measure right there to keep us from having this issue, unless of course it's an accident, but it will keep you from breaking down. So what are some of the things we should be doing this time of year if we're going to be heading back and forth to Phoenix?
Well, actually, any time of year, and the best thing is to make sure that you have regular maintenance done on your vehicles. It's always best to take it to the professionals and have them check it over. Your tires, you can't check your tires enough.
Really?
You need to make sure that not only that you have good tread, but the tires are appropriately and accurately inflated. If it's too much, there's no room for expansion, and you've got the overinflation. It can cause hydroplaning. Anything if there's moisture on the roadway. If they're underinflated, you've got too much flexion, which builds up the heat, and we end up with flat tires and blowouts. So either way, that's why appropriately inflated tires is paramount when you're dealing with it.
Really what they suggest is every time you get gas, you should take the tire pressure gauge and go around your tires.
Yes, and that's awesome if you do that. Not only that, but also check the tread depth. Just because you look and you see that there's some tread, what you need to be looking for is the wear bars to see if it's worn down enough that it is time to replace. Because you don't wait until there's no tread, there's nothing left before you replace them. It's done considerably before that.
Bald tires are a bad idea.
Very bad.
Okay, let's say I do have a blowout, something sharp on the road or something, and I have a blowout. What should I be doing? Because we were talking about this before the show, and you say that's a big mistake made often, but when I have that blowout.
One of the first things that I'd say anybody is know your vehicle. Know where the spare is, if there is a spare. We had a guy, I told you the story, a guy stopped and he's like, I can't find a spare in it. Well, it was a electric vehicle that did not come with a spare.
That's shocking to me.
Yes, and then know your vehicle, know where the spare's at, know where the jack is at, know how to take the jack out, where the jack is supposed to go on the vehicle. You see the commercial where the girl's changing a tire and the dad's trying to teach her a lesson. Go through the motions in a controlled environment. That way when you're in a lot higher stress environment on the side of the road with vehicles going by, you've been down the road, you know where the jack goes on the vehicle, so you're not damaging your vehicle just trying to jack it up and get the tire changed. You know where the wrenches are. You know whether or not you have to take the hubcap off before you actually get to the lug nuts. There's a bunch of interesting things that we see when we're out there trying to help people, and many times they have no clue as to where anything is at in their vehicle.
Since we're on tires, that's part of a couple of things you brought, well, actually a few of the things right here from your kit. Right. We've got a blanket,
yes,
just an old blanket. I've got an old sweatshirt in my truck, a small rag, and then you've got the gloves right here too.
Yes. And it doesn't matter whether it's hot or cold. when a tire blows or you get a flat tire, you're going to have heat that's built up on the tire surface as well. If it did blow, there's a good chance that there's metal that's sticking out, the fibers inside the tire itself. So have a good pair of gloves that you can protect your hands. That way we're not dealing with another emergency from you slicing your hand. There's a lot of sharp objects. The blanket, during the cold or the heat, it works out because you've got something to put a barrier between you and the ground, you and whatever the surface is.
That's really important too, because you think summertime shorts, there's no way you're going to kneel out there on the asphalt.
We've seen people get burnt by just kneeling down or laying down on the pavement. So have something to be able to protect yourself and to be able to at least get you through that experience.
Fluids. We should make sure the oil, of course, and all that, but the one I think is the one we really wanted to hit was the coolant. The coolant,
yes. It's a great time now to take it to a shop and make sure that you have the appropriate amount of antifreeze that's in there. Many people just take the antifreeze and dump it in. They don't realize that there's a ratio of antifreeze to the water that needs to be in the radiator. And if you have too much, it's going to boil too fast. And if your car is overheating, do not grab that radiator cap and try to take it off to look in to see if there's fluids.
Why?
Or you're gonna. We've transported people with second-degree burns from the splash up that will come out.
As soon as you pop that loose, that pressure's got to go somewhere. It's going to come straight
pressure's coming out. There is an overflow bottle on the vehicles. Know where that's at. Know to look. It's one of the things when you're getting gas that you check. You make sure that you have fluid that is at the minimum level there. If your vehicle had just been started, if you have been running, it's running hot. It should make its way up towards the max, but not above.
Okay, another thing we'll hit real quick, jumper cables. Everybody should have a pair of jumper cables in their car. I don't know how many times I've been stopped at the grocery store. Hey, do you got jumper cables? I say, yeah, I sure do.
Right.
Boom, boom, stick them on mine, stick them on theirs, get them going, and off they go.
Arizona heat is heck on batteries.
Yeah, it is.
And that's another item. Once again, if you go to any of the auto parts stores, they will check your battery for you and let you know how it's doing. Don't wait for it to die. Don't wait for you to get there and, oh, it'll be just one more start. I can get one more.
Yeah. A lot of us have been there.
Try to push it. It's a lot easier, especially with the warranties that they have on the batteries these days. If you take one and you replace it sooner, they'll do a core replacement on it, which knocks down the price of a new battery.
Sure, sure.
So have jumper cables, because you see a lot of people out there, they're sitting in a parking lot somewhere, the car's set for a little bit, and, hey, do you have any jumper cables on you? Sure, we do. And a lot of time, when they're stranded on the side of the road, they'll leave the electronics on the vehicle, and they had a weak battery. They try to change the tire. They get the tire changed. Now their battery is dead.
All right, let's hit a few other things real fast, because when we come back from our first break, we're going to talk about distracted driving. But have some extra water, little extra food, snack foods, in case it's a 3-4 hour stuck there in traffic. We've seen those many times. Flashlight's a good thing to have in case it's night. Cell phone charger, you said, is a really good thing to have.
Cell phone chargers, especially driving through the mountainous areas of Arizona, as soon as you get into the no signal areas, your phone starts searching for the signal. And that's what everybody looks at their phone. They're like, why is my battery going dead so quick? It spends all the time looking for a signal, and yeah, it drives it down. So a cell phone charger is one of the key elements. And the water, not just for the exertion that you have when you're changing a tire you broke down, but in the cases where something major has happened on the freeway and it is closed down for a while, so you have something.
We see that happen. All right, let's take our first break.
Sure.
Department of Public Safety Captain DannyGolden in studio. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We will be back in just a couple minutes.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. Can't change your past, but you can definitely change the future. That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more...
persuasive?
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back to Countywide. It's great to have you along. Department of Public Safety Captain DannyGolden in studio today. We want summer safety travel, and then we also want to limit the distracted driving.
Yes.
I mean, I think about when I was a kid driving. You were a kid driving. We had, you know, you'd get your fast food in the car. Fast food when you get the drive-thrus coming in, so there's our new distraction.
Right.
Stereo was awesome when I was a kid, always pushing buttons, loading cassettes. Right. Cassettes.
You actually had to, okay, maybe dating ourselves, but you actually had to tune the dial into the radio, yes.
Yes, so those were our distractions. Yes. But now we've got far bigger distractions going on. Yeah. Lots more.
Yeah, passengers, like you said, is another one. The passengers that are interacting with the driver, messing with the driver. We're seeing a lot of accidents with kids these days that are driving down the road. Kids these days, I sound like I'm 95 years old. I know. But
you're fine.
With kids that are driving down the road and just messing with each other as they're going down. And one of the big ones is the cell phone.
Yeah.
How easy it is to text these days, and tell everybody you got to put that down. You've really got to focus on what's at hand. To pair it with the driving, there's tires that blow all the time, and you'll be driving down the road, and just to glance down at a phone and come back up, you're a second and a half. So you're traveling, if you're traveling over 200 feet. By the time you look back up, and if there's something in the roadway that you strike, and you'll try to take evasive action, so many things that can go wrong.
You know, I can see where the young people today, like when I grew up, when you wanted to make a phone call or you were getting a phone call, you had to be home for it before answering machines.
Yes.
And these days, you know, they've got phones. By the time they're 6, 7 years old, they have a phone, and it just becomes. It's a part of their life, a big part of their life. So I understand why they want to use it in their car, but I guess the point we want to get across is that text or that phone call can wait 5 minutes down the road or pull off the side of the road as well. I see that more and more now, and I like that. When I'll drive by and I see somebody sitting on the side of the road and they've got their phone like this. Too often I see it driving down the road. People are doing this, driving down the road, and you can see them weaving back and forth in traffic, and then that's scary.
In the cognitive distraction that whatever you're talking about on that phone can be something that is great, that overwhelms you, and you're thinking more about the conversation that you're having rather than driving down the road. The visual distraction of looking down, trying to actually write, trying to text. There's so many things that go wrong. Driving is a skill. It is an art. And to be able to safely take that vehicle down the road and not injure someone else, not injure yourself. The passengers in the vehicle, you have such a responsibility as the operator of the vehicle, is to protect yourself and protect others. Put the phones down.
I saw a sign. These overhead signs that ADOT has installed up and down the state are really, really great. It's a really great way to get a message out. This last weekend, the sign up by Flagstaff says, highways don't kill people, drivers kill people.
Distracted drivers
Distracted
will.
drivers kill
Highways
people.
don't kill, distracted drivers will. And we've seen, last year, matter of fact, on May 6th of last year is where Officer Tim Huffman was killed by a distracted driver.
In a semi, of all things, a semi.
I know. You think about the amount of weight, the kinetic energy that's coming down the road, and
horrible.
It's not just the commercial vehicles that we're talking about. Every vehicle that's out there.
Every one of us.
Yes.
Every one of us. Even a bicyclist.
Yes. Yes. Well, the bicycle. You worry about a bicyclist. You're texting on a bicycle. You're crazy anyways, because you're gonna have an accident. You're gonna hurt yourself. But the bicyclist that can be on the side of the road, it's not just a problem when you're on the freeways, when you're on the city streets where there's pedestrians around, there's little kids that are around. If you're in the neighborhood, it doesn't take very long for a kid to pop out. And if you're looking down at your phone, if you're talking to the passenger or messing around, that's where bad things can happen.
I was thinking to myself, how bad would I feel if something like that happened to me? If I just was doing something other than paying attention to why so many accidents. We call them accidents, but I think we maybe should call them crashes.
Right.
Because some of them aren't. It is an accident, but it was a preventable accident.
Right. Collisions.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, collisions.
There is a great video that DPS produced that talks about distracted driving, and the end part is based around a funeral scene where a young child is burying his father, basically, and that's just it. Is what is that one text worth?
Are we cracking down on that?
Yes, we are.
Now, can you can't stop me though if you're driving past me. If you're driving past me on like 17 and I'm talking on the phone, are you able to pull me over and stop me?
If you were doing absolutely nothing wrong, no.
Okay.
No. You will, if you're distracted, you're going to give us the lane usage violations, the failure to signal violations. You're going to give us the varying speeds. There, we will see the signs. A distracted driver oftentimes gives us the same impression as a impaired driver.
I would think, yeah.
Just with the behavior, the erratic behavior, the erratic driving that's there. The violations will be there. Stop sign violations, red light violations. A distracted driver will actually give us plenty of stuff to be able to stop them for. It's not just the fact that they have it. California's got a great law that says if it's in your hand, there's your violation. They don't have to say whether you were talking on the phone, whether you were texting. You can't have the device in your hand.
Well, that's a good one.
In Arizona, we're just coming around with this. Whether or not we come up with a legislation like that, I don't know, but we're looking more and more.
You'd like to see that, wouldn't you?
Personally, yes, I would. It's a great law because you learn to put it down. I buried Tim Huffman, and I went through that. I saw the family pain, and the employees that worked with him, and I've seen others. The crashes on 169 where we lost the little girl. Oh, and knowing that is probably because of distracted driving. There was no other elements. You're looking at the collision, going, "What happened here?" And here's a cell phone. We had a young lady just a few months back. Was texting, looked down, well, the road curved. She didn't, and she launched, and we were very lucky that day that there wasn't a car coming southbound at the same time, because she was northbound, launched over into the southbound lanes and landed on the roof in the southbound lanes.
We got to take another break. All right. DPS Captain DannyGolden in studio today. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We'll take a quick 2-minute break. We'll be right back.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a couple minutes left in the program. You've done a very good job today.
Thank you,
Captain Danny Golden. Very good information. One other thing. Last year, you guys kind of started this. Maybe you've done it before, but last year I know we did a big story on it. We were talking about a lot that where it seemed like from Camp Verde all the way down to Black Canyon City, you had an abundance of officers throughout that corridor because it seems to be the magical spot where all these accidents seem to happen. You had extra tow trucks ready. You had fire departments all kind of signed on and said, yeah, we'll get there as quick as we can, ambulances and all that good stuff. We're going to do that again? Just to keep the road clear?
Absolutely. It's part of the traffic incident management initiative that we are doing to be able to mitigate the major events that happen quicker, to be able to get the roadways open faster.
And you tend to do these around the holidays?
Yes.
Holiday weekends.
Yes.
Not every weekend, but...
Correct.
Okay.
We have patrolmen out there all the time anyways, but on the holiday weekends we do increase the amount of patrols that we have out. We do DUI saturation patrols. We're bringing some motors up to help with the Oak Creek Canyon area up in Sedona to be able to help out during the Memorial Weekend. And we will have more officers on the highway in attempts to prevent collisions and apprehend violators.
Well, it's just too bad that so many of you have to miss out on the holiday to take care of us.
Yes.
So I guess if we weren't distracted driving and we had the proper things in our vehicle, we'd probably be able to take care of ourselves out there, wouldn't we?
I wish that were the case. I wish it was the case.
If we all did that, I think we'd all be a little bit better off. But I guess a few things we really want to know today is make sure you get your vehicle ready for summer driving. It should always be ready, but summer driving. Have a few things in your car. Know where your spare tire is and how to use it and how to change your tire. Have a few extra little water, extra food in your vehicle in case you break down or you get stuck in an accident scene. And distracted driving. Put the cell phone down. You can talk to them in 10 minutes as soon as you get to where you're going.
Yes.
All right. Great seeing you.
Great.
Always good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. That's today's Countywide. I'm Paul David. We will talk to you again next time.